Hey Josh, it's Ed Easton from USA Today. How you doing?
All right, man. How you doing?
Doing great, man. I'm happy to get in touch with you. It's like for a while now we've been wanting to get you on the show and just talk about your restaurant and everything that's been going on, especially now with Thanksgiving.
Oh, cool, man. Well, I mean, I'm here. I'm at your disposal, so let me know what you need.
Oh no, this is great. Well, I just want to first start off by saying how has it been so far? Now it's the holiday weekend starting. What has been going on that might be a little different than usual days at the restaurant?
Well, I mean, Thanksgiving week is kind of, I mean, it's a little up and down because people are leaving town, but we usually, have pretty decent business. We're closed on Thanksgiving Day. And then the weekend, we just get back into it, and Christmas season's always nice to be in the restaurant industry. So the Chiefs, as long as they keep winning, like life is good. So,
and that's exactly what we're here to talk about. And you guys are the number one Chiefs bar in New York City. I kind of have to ask because it's always a topic. Seeing that it's a Kansas City Chiefs bar and restaurant, does it feel weird, like when certain people come in and they're probably like a Giants or Jets fan? How are you guys in regards to handling that?
Well, I mean, I think we're pretty well known, especially in our neighborhood, of like we don't really show those games. Like if you walk in and you're like a Jets fan, I mean, I still am a New York citizen, resident, and proudly so. Like. I don't hate the Jets. I'm friends with Tony Richardson, who was, he was happy to be a Jet for a while, so I sideways root for him. But there's no, like, get the hell out of here sort of thing going on or anything, But if you walk in and think that we're going to turn on the Jets when there's 60 Chiefs fans going nuts, it's like, yeah, you've been smoking that legal stuff.
I hear that. I know every Chiefs fan appreciates that as well. You mentioned Tony Richardson. Are there any former players or maybe even current players that have stopped by the restaurant?
Yeah, we've had a couple. Dante Hall and Tony are they're pretty, Tony lives in the neighborhood. We're pretty decent friends, and Dante lives over in Jersey City, and we chat too. And it's sporadic, but they'll come in, and it makes it just that much better. It's always fun to watch a game with Dante and Tony. And we had Joe Valerio come in one time. Hank Stram's son came in one time. So, I mean, we've had, here there, Jason Kander, the Secretary of State of Missouri, now who works with veterans and stuff like that. So, yeah, we've had lots of people that I would have never had the opportunity probably to meet otherwise. It's awesome.
No, it's definitely great. And just going by the atmosphere, how it is at the restaurant, I just remember seeing videos popping up of the celebrations going on after winning the Super Bowl a few years ago. Can you just describe the scene and how it was at the restaurant as you were there when the Chiefs won for the first time in 50 years?
Yeah, I mean, it was already crazy. I mean, it was already just the most slam-packed it's ever been there. We were far, far beyond the fire code. And the craziest thing with the experience at our place is we have a back patio area which has a TV. It's probably half the people were back there. And I don't know what happened, like the splitter overheated or something, but the TV went out in the back, which is the only TV. So everybody piled into an already just insanely packed house inside. And then Damian Williams scored that touchdown probably about 30 seconds later. And all was, it was just chaos from that point on, which was awesome. Yeah, so good times. I hope for a couple more.
Hey, I mean, it's looking good right now. And just obviously looking forward to this Sunday. When fans do come in and they go to a game, they come in obviously to watch the game and enjoy the amazing food. Is there anything special that you guys do to get everything revved up some more?
Yeah, I mean, we're like a welcoming place. I'm Kansas City, so, I have those ethos of come on in and sit yourself down. We don't really have bands or anything playing. It's just we've had a core kind of group that's been coming in for 7 years, 8 years, maybe even kind of another sort of base that comes in like 2 or 3 times a season. And now we get people from all over because the Chiefs, like official connection or whatever we got just recently. And like, yeah, we're pretty well known for that. I mean, now that like Patrick Mahomes is like, the most, even people in China know who Patrick Mahomes is, and they have no idea what football even is, it's like that's how big the Chiefs are right now, and yeah, I'm living in a golden age and trying to appreciate every single second of this. Like, I remember Bill Kinney. Mm-hmm. I remember Todd Blackledge, like these people are whining about like Trent Green. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, those are those are the silver era, But yeah, it's definitely great to be a Chiefs fan these days.
I definitely hear you. And before I let you go, this is a question that I always ask everybody on, whether it's a celebrity or a former player, current player. If you had to choose, you're putting together your all-time Chiefs team, and you can only choose one player at this position. Who's your tight end? Is it Tony Gonzalez or Travis Kelce?
Oh, man, that's a real tough one. You're, like, putting me up against it. Because, like, if this is ever, like, heard by either of them, I don't know, like, I mean, to be honest, Tony Gonzalez, like, still goes down as probably the greatest Chief ever until Patrick Mahomes, like, has, like, 30 more minutes. No, I won't take away from a Hall of Famer yet until the other gentleman is in the Hall of Fame also. Because I've said that Tony Gonzalez statistically is the greatest Chief ever. I mean, even though, Kelce is right up there and, like, yeah, that's a tough one, man. You put me on the spot. I'll just say it's Chris Dunn. How about that?
I like that. I like that.
Skip Bayless on you until it's Chris Dunn or Tony Maioki.
Hey, you throw there's plenty more you could throw in. You know what's funny? You're actually the first person to suggest a different name. So you're already down in the history books for the show.
Well,
so.
The thing is that I can't get any flack for not picking one or the other. I mean, I'm picking between gold and platinum.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, but one is already currently in the Hall of Fame. I believe he's in the Hall of Fame, isn't he? I think so.
Yeah, he's in. Tony's in.
Yeah, and one who will soon be. So I mean, I have to go with seniority and meritocracy in real world. So. I mean, he'll be in there in a minute, and then I'll have this debate over again. But there's no doubt who the best quarterback is. So, is it Brody Croyle or... I'll tell you a little quick story just as we're talking about the Chiefs, how much I love them earlier. They basically saved my business in New York City, too. Like, that all happened. We had 2 restaurants at the time, and basically that, the Super Bowl and the run there was like, by far the busiest days we've ever had. And that happened 2 weeks before everything went to hell. And we actually got to kind of send our staff home with their full pay and even a little bit extra for those who couldn't get their full pay or, don't have the safety net, as we could maybe call it, that, Americans would have when that happened. But so basically he left us kind of he saved us because I know other people they just talk to their employees for 6 months and try to pay them a nickel at a time, because nobody thought they were going to be closed down and stop making money. But yeah, man, Patrick Mahomes saved my restaurant.
Wow.
So if I didn't love the guy anymore, if I didn't have already deified him in my mind, even before the pandemic, it's and he's the greatest guy on earth, dude. I mean, married a little sweetheart. All the guy does is play bad. Talk about sports, probably. So yeah, man, it's good to be a Chiefs fan, man. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy. Even when we lose a big playoff game or something, it's he's still the greatest. He's the bestest. I mean, even when the Chiefs lose, you still get 5 Mahomes highlights. What the f*** was that? He's like the first and one quarterback, just like, oh, like every other play is just like somebody were like, I can't believe this is even happening, but we deserve it. We're Chiefs fans. Our last draft pick was Todd Blackledge, so this is well earned. We've never drafted a good quarterback ever until Patrick Mahomes. Like, as a franchise, Lynn Dawson was a cast off from 6 years of being like a backup for the Steelers or something. Like, So this is the only quarterback that, he is Kansas City. I even read things about like how Kansas City has almost been rejuvenated by the guy, like the city itself.
Well, I just want to say real quick, do you want to just shout out, just give the full address and, the website for the restaurant?
Yeah, it's John Brown BBQ, and it's 27-20 40th Avenue. And we do stuff weird here. Astoria, New York.
Okay, sounds good, man. Thank you for everything, and like I said, enjoy your Thanksgiving, man. Enjoy the holidays, and go Chiefs.
All right, man. Thank you. Go Chiefs, dude. Have a good one.
Take care.